What is up, guys? The Casey's here, and today we're going to be working on setting up an account for our social media app. If you guys haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel, and if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Alrighty then, we have our sign in / sign up over here, and okay, so basically right now if you type in an email and password and you sign in, it segues you to the feed. But we need to add a couple things like for profile image, I guess that's one thing we need to do. And then when that unhides, then you type in your email and password and it creates the account, I guess. And then also we need to save the user's ID so that when they sign in, they exit the app and they come back in the app, they don't have to log in every single time. Okay, so let's do the UID first, the user's ID. If you'll notice here, we're saving the user's ID in our keychain wrapper for the key UID. So if we search through keychain wrapper for key UID, we'll find the user's user ID if it exists. And if it exists, that means the user has logged in. So if it doesn't exist, then the user needs to log in. So on our first VC, which is this one, if okay, so let's copy this code right here. So view did load, we're gonna put in here if keychain wrapper dot standard, I think standard dot object for key, and it's gonna be key under UID. I guess we gotta say not equal to no. Then we're just gonna perform our segue to the feed. So let's save this and run it. It should work already. Okay guys, so like I said, I've been doing this live. I didn't pre-make the code, so I didn't want to show you guys that long span of me debugging, but basically what happened was in this little bit of code right here where we're pulling the string, or we stored our user's ID in a variable called UID, and we're just pulling it right here. First error I made was I put this statement in view did load, which we need to put it in view did appear. You can create that function just by typing in view did appear, and then it'll pop up and you just click enter. Okay, so that's how you do that one. And I also down here wrote some safe code. So say that the user doesn't have a user ID, it doesn't store the variable, but in this instance, it's going to store the variable. Just little not debugging, safer code. You guys can change that if you want, but you don't have to. So let's go to the next step. Save this. Also, if you guys are, since it's been a week since I made the last one, unless you guys are watching this a little bit later, make sure and update your pod files. You can do that by going to the terminal and just saying pod update and click enter. Make sure you have CD'd into your projects folder, and then you can do that. And that should also help you get updated code with less bugs and things like that. Okay. So the next part of this is creating. So when a user hasn't created an account and they press the sign in button, we want to, what do you call it? Show the user image, show the user name, so that they can then add the username and image to create their account. We could leave it visible. In this instance, I think we're just gonna leave it visible. But one thing you guys can do if you want is in here have it hidden unless the user hasn't created their account, or whatever you guys want to do. Go do that. But I'm going to show you how to create the account, which isn't as necessarily a big deal, but it's definitely something you want to know. If you guys want more detailed authentication videos, let me know. I might just be able to make some. Let me know in the comment below. Okay. But if there's an error, we're going to create an account. And let's head to Firebase documentation. And let's see. We're going to go to authentication. Yes. Authentication, email, Where's email? Password authentication, I guess. Okay, here we go. We're in Swift, good. Create user with email. Okay, so we want to copy this a little bit right here. Create user with email. And we're going to paste that in here. If error is... So if error is not equal to nil, that means we have an error. So let's do this. And when we create a user, we want to double check and make sure that there is a user's image and a username. So in this little if statement, we can say, and username field, I guess we might have to say self dot username field dot is empty dot text dot is empty. So we're making sure that there is a value in here. Let's see, fix. All right, so we just checking to make sure that there is text in the username dot field, and also we need to make sure that there's an image in the image view. Self dot image view user image view dot image dot is not equal to nil. Okay, so if we have those things right there, then we're going to be going ahead and creating our user. So down here we have our email and our password, which is being passed right here in these variables. Okay, and then we're going to store our user. We're going to create a function here just so that we call it when we create the user. Let's just copy this in here, paste that, make sure you put an exclamation point, otherwise it's going to store an optional. What do we need to do? We need to create our function so that when the user account is being created, then we can post the data to the database, okay? So we're going to just call a function store data, store user data. Okay, right above the IV action, func store user data. There we go. Probably need self dot right there. And what are we gonna do? We need to actually pass in our user's ID. So user ID of type string. This is basically we're passing in a variable into our function, so then we can use user ID to call this right there, that value. And we're gonna be throwing in the user dot u. Well, we can just copy this right here. So do you guys, I hope you guys understand that this variable right here is the ID of our user, and when we call this function store user data, we're putting this parameter, this variable, into the function, and we can use user ID as the variable of this value. Basically, this is what's going on. So now we got to figure out how we can upload a username and how we can upload a what else do we need to upload? User image to our user's ID. So let's head back to Firebase's documentation. Let's go to, not authentication, we're gonna go to real-time database, or real-time database, and read and write data, okay? We're gonna be writing, right, so right here, for instance, you can add a user with set value. So ref users, okay, copy that. So back here, we're gonna paste that in there. Username is going to be, I guess we could throw in username as well. type string, and nah. We'll just expect when this function's called that we have a we'll be pulling the username from the username field and our image from the image field. So we're gonna username is going to be username field dot text. Okay. This is an array of values that we're going to be sending to the database. So you can do this. Like so. And then user's image. That's going to be we're just calling it that right now, but we're going to figure out how we can store it. Let's go to not real-time database. Now we need to go to storage, create a reference, upload files, I guess. Okay, so upload files, upload data in memory, upload from a URL. So upload the file to the path. Okay. Well, let's copy this right here, okay? Copy that. And when we're in here, above the users that we'll be posting, this ref right here, we can actually go back, and it's right here. Var ref equals database.database.reference. We can just post that in here up at the top. It's kind of a global variable that Firebase tells you to do. So that's gonna get rid of some of those errors. And then, where were we at? Okay, what does it say? User ID. Oh, that's right, yeah. So this child in the database is gonna be our user ID that we're getting from here. And then our image URL, of course, we haven't set yet, so that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna take this download URL and we're gonna make it a variable in here. It's gonna be of type string, okay? Exclamation point. So now we can access this down here instead of just inside the function. And, whoops, download URL, okay. So we're storing that there. Okay, so what are we putting? We're putting our user's image. Okay, so we got to, when the user presses on the user image, we're gonna have to upload the image or store the image, and then what else we gotta do? I think that's about it there. Okay, so let's head. Let me open up. All right, I'm gonna find the code for this one. So this let ref equals, when you say, yeah, let ref equal, and then of course down here, the data that we're putting, we don't have yet. And then the image URL is going to be from download URL. I guess we could change that to download URL. That's fine, we got that part finished. And so basically now all we have to do is select an image from our user's image picker, whatever, get that image, and then we can store it in here, so then we can upload it to our user's data. And to do that, we need to extend our class. I guess we can do it down here. This is one of my friends from WWDC told me to do this, which I have found actually to be a lot better, as in it makes code simpler, especially when you have big code and stuff. But you want to extend from your current ViewController or class that you're in, and we're going to extend UI image picker, picker controller delegate. And I am looking at some code that I've done previously. You don't really need to memorize everything, but I just figured the video will go a lot faster, especially since my computer's so slow. And we also need UI navigation controller delegate. Okay. And okay, so now that we've extended from those two, we got to add an image picker to our file here, and then we also have to add the selected image is going to be a variable. Okay, so let's first add our image picker. So up here we're going to have var image picker. It's of type UI image picker controller. You can delete the delegate part. And then we need a var selected image of type UI image. Okay, perfect. Oh, UI image. I spelled that wrong. UI image. And in ViewDidLoad, we're gonna have to say our image picker equals UI image picker controller. So when someone presses on that, it is okay. No, so our image picker is our picker controller, and then we need to say image picker dot allows editing. That's going to equal true, and our image picker dot delegate has to be self. I think that's all. Yeah, I think that's all we need for that so far. And then now we have a couple functions. Let's head down to this extension down here, and we can say did finish picking media with info. You use this function, and we're gonna say if let image equals info info of an image or a UI image picker controller. Picker controller edited image. Yeah, edited image as a UI image. Okay, perfect. We're going to use this image and say selected image equals image. Awesome, awesome. Now we're going to also dismiss the image picker. Animated, yeah, you can animate it. That's up to you. And then completion is nil. We don't need a completion. So now that we have this, we can call our function. No, we can't call that function. So we gotta store our image, right? We have our image here. So let's just say right here, if let image data equals UI image JPEG with representation. UI image is going to be selected image. Okay. And then quality 0.2. It doesn't have to be high quality. And then upload task, river, put data. No, if let, we have to do the little thingy there. We can exit. Command X on this and put that inside of the parentheses. We're gonna say let image UID equal NSSUID. NSUUID. There we go. And this is going to be .UUID string. Let image, or no, metadata equal storage metadata. put data is going to be image data right here. Image data. Then our metadata. Okay, I guess we can say nil. And then we won't need this metadata right there. Metadata error. Guardlet metadata. Else. Uh-oh, an error occurred. Okay. Metadata contains. Whoa, what's it going to say? Oh, okay. So our storage location, in their example, let's go forward. Back to where we were. Where were we? We were down here on Firebase.com. We need a storage ref. What are they calling their storage ref? Storage.reference. Okay, so you copy that. And you can paste that there. Storage.reference.put data. And then it's going to create our download URL. We're putting our download URL into the variable. And then, okay. Let's see here. Storage. Okay, maybe we need to import Firebase Storage up here. Sometimes it makes it better. I don't know why. Even though, well, maybe that's our problem. Maybe we don't have Firebase Storage in our pod file. Do we? We'll see. I hope we do. Well, we don't have Firebase Storage. That's what's going on here. So copy that, paste, and then instead of database, it's going to be storage. Save that, and then head to our pod file and say pod install. Of course, CD back into your project. Social2 is mine. It's going to install that. There we go, it's installed. A whole bunch of errors, that's fun. Okay. And so back then here, self.ref.child users, child user ID, .set value, username field.text, download URL. We can either put this inside of here, so after downloads, which is probably actually a better idea. So let's put an X on that. Post it underneath the download URL. We already have the user's ID. That's all we need. Let's hook up a couple things on the main.storyboard. Okay. So click on this one, right click on ViewController. Let's see, what do we need to connect? Okay, so we need to create an IB outlet or IB action down here at the bottom. It's going to be at IB action func. What's it called? Get photo, I guess is a good one. Get photo. You can call it whatever you want. Sender of type any object. Okay. Oh, comma. Type any object. And then we're just going to say present. ViewController, and it's going to be image picker. Animated is true, completion is nil. Save that. It's actually of type, sorry. Of type any object. That should be good. Now, if we save that, head back to our main.storyboard, we can link that up to our button that is over the image. Touch up inside. Okay, save that. Run that. Okay, so it says build failed. Let's check out why. Fix storage dot storage. Okay, so right here it's gonna be storage.storage.reference. And we're not gonna create. What is it saying here? There we go. Yeah, we have to change download URL to a variable var. And then we also want to change this let right here. So it just calls it, it doesn't put it in a variable. And I guess we don't even need this image UID. Okay, that's fine. I hope we don't need it because it saves us time in code. Here, let's copy that. At first I had this down here, so we really don't need this variable up there anymore. Username field dot text. We need to put a self in front of that. And as you guys might notice, the colors start looking nicer as the code is working properly. It wants us to change this to a let because it's not being mutated. Okay. And then it wants us to explicitly state that there's something in there. But we know that there is because we're calling this function after we check right here to make sure. Okay. And if you guys want to do more error handling, that's up to you guys. If you're putting this on the App Store, you have to do that because otherwise they'll reject your app because they test that type of stuff. And I think we're good here. Let's update recommended settings and then run it. So we got a crash. Let's see what's going on here. It says, okay, so I think I found the error. The error is not that. Right here where we say let database or ref equal database at reference, delete that because that's calling it, I guess, too early or something like that. So I guess don't listen to Firebase when they tell you to do that. So we're just going to replace this one place with database.database.reference, and hopefully this works. Okay, so we got that working. Now we just need to add a sign out button because obviously our users signed in and we need to sign them out so that we can try creating a user's account. So let's go do that. So in the ViewController, in view did load on our, we need to create a new file right here. So social media, new file, cookie touch class, yes. UI ViewController, and it's going to be feed VC. And next, creates. And in view did load, we need to say, oh, whoa, my computer's going so slow. It's hurting my brain, it's going so slow. Maybe I need to get a new Mac Mini, or Apple needs to make a new one. We need to say, navigation item dot left bar button item equals UI button item, I guess. Parentheses, we're gonna say this one, title, and the title's gonna be sign out. The style is going to be .normal. Target is going to be self. And the action, action. Hashtag selector. And we're going to put in here, sign out. And we're going to create a IB action or function. No, IB action at the bottom. You just gotta say obj function sign out, sender any object, put a space here. Okay, so that should call this. Oh, it's not obj, it's at obj. Sorry. Func sign out, sender any object dot does dot normal dot default, sorry. Target self selector sign out. Sign out like that. Dot plain. Oh, it's at OBJC. There we go. All right, save that. Sign out. Sign out. We just need to say, oh, we got to import keychain wrapper up here. Swift keychain wrapper. We need to say keychain wrapper.standard .remove object for key, and our key is a UID or whatever you set the user's ID's key to. FIR. Oh, we need to import Firebase as well. And we need to say FIR auth, something like that, I forgot. Let's go to documentation, authentication, password authentication, and they got sign out down here at the bottom, I'm sure. So the last thing, here we go. Let auth. So, copy this. And then we go back here, paste that, and then in fire authors say auth.auth. There we go, save that, and there's no button. I think the problem we're having is we haven't linked up our ViewController yet. So let's head over here. Oh, this is a UI table ViewController, whoops. So FeedVC is actually a UI table ViewController right there. And then we can save that. We need to import a few functions though. Number of rows, of course, is one. Number of sections, return 1. Number of rows in section. Oh, whoa. That's going to be return 1 for right now. Oh, actually, section should be 0 for right now. And then cell for row and next path. Return UI table view cell for right now. Okay, and then go back to main.storyboard, and we have to link up this ViewController to a FeedVC. There we go. Now it should work because the button wasn't linked up, so it was never. Here we go, sign out. Okay, we also have to perform a segue, dismiss the view, but if we rerun this, I think it should work. So down here in sign out pressed in FeedVC, we need to say dismiss ViewController. So dismiss, true, true, completion is no. Say that. But if we rerun it, there we go, we're back in here. So add photo. Here it goes. It should let us select the photo. No. It's really weird. Sometimes Xcode will stop the running and compile your code. It's really weird. But here we go. So we're gonna add a photo, see if this works. Pulls it up. Select, I like that one. My username is gonna be GG. My email is gonna be ghgrandom@me.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sign in. Sign up. Okay, what do we got going on here? Error. And it's localized description query. Okay, so what's going on here is plugin kit query canceled. I think what we have happening is creating the image. We're not putting in metadata, So we need to add metadata, and we can do that right here. We're just going to say let metadata. This is right above storage.storage.reference. Basically where we're adding an image equal metadata. And then for metadata, we're just gonna say metadata. I think that's right. I don't get what's going on here. Oh, whoops. Continue. So I think it's just skipping. So that user's not being created. So this should get through now. Sign in. Okay, so it's hidden here. Oh, we're creating a user now. Yes. Oh, crap. Crash. Okay, so I'm gonna change this to user image.image is going to equal this one. And then when we upload our image here, we're just gonna say self.userimage view.image. Let's see if that fixes our problem. So anyways, I'm not sure what's going on right now. I'm gonna try figuring this out this week. I'm wondering if it's just a bug with the simulator not being able to use selected images from a user's photos, but we'll see what it is, and I'll get that fixed in the next video. It should be pretty simple, and well, I'll see you guys in the next episode where we start working on our feed. Deuces.